Many of you have been asking for it, and it looks like BioStar is going to be the first to deliver. Plus, Intel may be doing it, and we have some NVIDIA news, so stay tuned. Welcome back to GamerBuild. For those who have been waiting for a Mini-ITX AM4 board, here's your chance. Some may not like BioStar, but they're definitely committed to Ryzen. One thing to note is that they're releasing one for both the X370 and B350 chipsets, and I have no clue why. Every report I read discussed all the similarities and breezed right through any differences, and I was wondering why, until I went to the official specifications. I couldn't find any. But if we run down to the bottom of the specification page, you can see this notice. Of course, we know the main differences between the B350 and X370 boil down to essentially dual GPUs and some more I/O options. Obviously, with the minimal size, they're limited in room, and both boards only come with a single PCI Express slot. I'm assuming we'll eventually see more USB ports or something, but why release the specs if they're subject to change like that? They also mentioned Windows 7 support, which is technically correct, but as we all know, Microsoft doesn't support Windows 7 on Ryzen, so I don't know why they mentioned that. Either way, the specs are pretty reasonable, so let's go over them. The rear I/O sports one PS2 port, one USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type-C port, one USB 3.1 Type-A Gen 2 port, 4 USB 3.1 Gen ports, one HDMI connector, and guess what? A DVI-D connector. Though, of course, you'll be connecting using your GPU port anyway, so yeah. Internally, you've got your typical, but with 4 SATA 3 connectors, an M.2 slot, dual RAM support for up to 3200 MHz on both, but definitely keep in mind that AMD considers this an overclock, so you do lose your warranty. Lastly, you've got a couple LED headers for some great modding potential. This includes allowing you to have some cool controls like breathing, playing with the music, etc. BioStar is also touting their new Fly.net utility that ramps up and down your LAN bandwidth depending on your needs. The MSRP for the X370 is $129 and the B350 is $109. Really, given their specs, they aren't bad boards for the price at all, and if you're looking to make a tiny build, they could be right for you. Next comes more rumors on Intel's pushback to Ryzen, but this one comes with a date. Bench.Life is reporting that Intel actually plans to release the new HEDT CPU at Computex. This is supposedly in response to AMD's upcoming X399 CPUs. We're supposedly going to be looking at up to a 12-core CPU from Intel and what will probably be an ungodly amount of money, while I will admit Ryzen is said to move all the way up to 16 cores. And I'll bet they're probably going to be priced right around double the price of current Ryzen 7 chips, with probably some added costs for R&D and not as much demand. But that part's purely my speculation. Either way, if Intel's past pricing is any indication, we could be looking at a chip around $2,000, at least for the 12-core count. Of course, if we see it for cheaper, we know AMD had quite the effect on Intel. The last bit of news for today is NVIDIA releasing their updated 1080 at 11 gigabit memory speeds and the 1060 with its own 9 gigabit memory. We're also seeing tons of board partners jumping into the game. Really though, the specs don't see any difference with anything but memory speed. So while that ends today's news, I wanted to quickly run by something with everyone to see what you thought. I'm once again continuously blown away by the incredible response I get here, and I've been racking my brain at finding better monetization because YouTube ads just aren't that great. For anyone curious, after everything's said and done, and also because I've actually been called rich one time in the comments, I get about 80 cents to $1 per 1,000 views. Now the one time that I actually went well over 100,000 views, I got more like $2 per 1,000 views, which was pretty awesome. Now I know I'm small and I'm certainly not trying to complain or anything like that. Guys, seriously, it's been incredible. Love talking to you in the comments, everything. To be honest, the only reason why I'm even talking about this is actually because I want to do it more. I want to do more of it. I'd like to try to get sponsors, but I really don't think the channel is the size that it needs to be to get that. And I was actually looking at some sites lately that kind of connect sponsors with content creators. It was mostly things I'd never even tried before, and I don't know, I hate the idea of trying to peddle crap to you, like, this thing's so amazing, but I've never even tried it. I don't want to do that at all. Another option could be merchandise, and that could be really awesome. And I've also heard quite a bit of people have had success with Patreon. And don't worry, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be anything like, oh, you have to pay this and you'll get a video one day early. I do news, and I'm already late sometimes as it is anyway, so I'm not about to make you wait a day unless you pay. No, it's nothing like that. I was thinking maybe some live streams ever so often, or possibly answering some like tech questions or things like that, really going in detail with you, maybe playing some video games with everybody. I don't know. And maybe my channel's too small to even be discussing this. That's why I'm coming to you. What kind of things do you want me to try out? If you don't want me to do anything, let me know. That's fine. I don't want to kind of push anything on anybody. And I mean, it would definitely be your choice with Patreon and stuff. It would not be anything that you'd have to do it. It would just be, oh, I want to support you kind of thing. But either way, let me know what you think in the comments below. Lastly, don't forget about the giveaway. Guys, we are so close to 10,000 views. I'll also be announcing the winners at the end of the month, so make sure to look for that on Twitter, as you might be one. That does it for now. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe by clicking on the round icon in the middle. You can check out the most recent video and suggest a video to the left. Thanks so much for coming, and as always, have a great day.